On January 1889, two bodies were found shot to death in a hunting cabin outside of Vienna, Austria. You might think, what's the big deal? But here's the catch. It was the Archduke of Austria-Hungary and his mistress and lover, who was a baroness. The sketchy thing is, the Archduke was already married to a Belgian princess.
The emperor, the father of the archduke, tried to cover up the murder. He made sure that the rumor of their murder wasn't spreading, and to make sure that there was no evidence of his son and the baroness being together on the night that they were killed, he took the baroness's body and buried her in secret.
The public thought that their next heir was poisoned by their enemies, but the emperor told the Pope another story. He said his son killed himself and the baroness in a moment of insanity. The weird thing is, Pope still let the emperor have a Catholic burial for his son, even though such decision went against their belief. After the emperor died, the details about the murder began spilling out, and everyone became furious because they were never aware of it.
So who do you think did it?
I think the archduke's father could have planned this murder. Firstly, the emperor he was the one who tried to cover up the murder. He possibly could have done that to prevent people from knowing that his son was having an affair because, he obviously, as the emperor, he wouldn't want the public to know that his son was involved in such, activity because it is, a scratch to their reputation. But then I still find it bizarre that, the emperor did nothing to uncover the murder because, to think about it, if he hadn't been involved in the murder, as a father, I think he definitely would have tried to uncover the mystery. But then the fact that he was just trying to cover it up and wanted people to just be completely unaware of the fact that his son got murdered, I think that does make him kind of suspicious.
I agree. There must have been a connection with the father, the emperor, because he was the one who had all the control over unveiling the crime scene. If it wasn't the emperor, people would have never would have known that the archduke had been killed. But then there is the Pope, who allowed the archduke to have a burial. As I said, as a Catholic country, it should have been against their religious value to grant a proper funeral for a person who committed suicide. There must have been some political transaction between the emperor and the Pope. There's a possibility that the two leaders kept the suicide covered and announced that the enemy poisoned the archduke.
Well, I think that the princess knew about the relationship between the archduke and the baroness, so she sent someone to kill the baroness, but then when that person got there, they saw that the archduke was with the baroness, so they had to kill both of them to eliminate any witnesses. What do you think?
I think all three aspects to the murder, they're equally likely of having occurred when the murder took place. But,
Well, I think that it's kind of sketchy that the father tried to cover up the murder, because if I were the emperor and my son, the archduke, died, I would want to make sure that people know.
Right.
And the details of it, because I wouldn't think that, first of all, I wouldn't tell the Pope that I think my son went crazy and killed the baroness and himself. So every part of what the emperor did was so sketchy and off.
Yeah. And maybe this is how it went. The emperor had another favorite son whom he wanted to replace the archduke with. Then the emperor told the Pope his plan, and the Pope found it beneficial for himself to gain power. So the two leaders decided to kill the archduke, and that's what happened.
Yeah, that could be a possibility, but I think the murder was more closely related to getting rid of the baroness, the mistress.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
It'd be
true.
kind of wrong to kill the archduke. Well, not wrong. I mean, it's wrong to kill anyone, but killing an archduke is a big deal. That's an heir to the throne. But killing a baroness, not many people would care, and there wouldn't be as many people that aren't involved that would care.
Yeah, and I think the weird thing is that I think I don't think the emperor like intentionally tried to kill the archduke because you know how the archduke, I mean the emperor wanted the archduke to have a Catholic burial, right? But then if he intentionally like killed the archduke, I don't think he would have gone to like I don't think he would have gone the extra step to go to the pope and like kind of request that his son be given a Catholic burial. Because like if he really just wanted to kill his son, why would he give his son a Catholic burial? So I think that's
Yeah.
Yeah,
But then
maybe.
we can't really eliminate the chances of the princess either. If you think about it.
True.
Yes, the father is sort of weird in the way he dealt with the situation, but also the princess was basically involved because if your husband is killed, she's probably involved the most, I would say. And the fact that she did nothing, there was nothing about her, grieving for him or anything like that. I feel like she had to be involved.
Yeah,
and the fact that like he was with the mistress, it's like it obviously makes the option that the princess could have killed them like really open, because like if he had been murdered with his friend or like maybe with his cousin or like someone like maybe his relatives or anyone, like we wouldn't think that the princess would have been involved. But the fact that he was with the mistress when he was killed, that kind of makes the possibility that the princess probably had something to do with it really high.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different phases of this crime scene that we can approach to, and like honestly, we can't decide which one is correct or not.
Yeah, there's nothing about it.
No one knows, because
But
nothing's been, like,
I just think that it's weird because this is an archduke, so I would feel that people would have gone like great lengths to try to figure this
True.
out. Like,
But then they couldn't, or they didn't.
yeah, that's the weird thing too. I don't know if the emperor just did a really good job of hiding it for a long time, or it's just that no one cared
No.
at that point. I don't know.
I don't think no one cared because like he was the archduke, so
Yeah, but like if you think about it, the Austrian people right now in the modern times are probably not wondering about this
Yeah,
much.
I don't think they're even aware of this situation.
Exactly.
That the Archduke had died.
Like, I
Probably
wonder
not.
if they even teach this in like history.
Yeah.
I mean, we never learned it. We learned about other Austrian people, but not this one. So pretty cool.
Curious.